What's up, YouTube? For today's video, with a full Maschiff evolution team. Super Bowser, this one is for you. So, Maschiff and Mabosstiff. Probably not the most popular Pokemon. There not really many people actually use Mabosstiff, so it was pretty fun to do a team based around this. I'm going to be using 2 Mabosstiff and 2 Maschiff on one team. We've got Intimidate, Guard Dog, and Stakeout as the abilities. Guard Dog's a pretty cool ability, and I actually managed to get a sweep with a Mabosstiff. So let me know if you want to see that Mabosstiff sweep. It was really, really cool. All right, we have got a lot of little battles today. We've got a lot of small battles because this team didn't really, it either lasted about 5 minutes or it got destroyed in 1 minute. It was a difficult team to use. So we, of course, have got a random battle here and my favorite Kyogre lead, of course, and we have a Maschiff Focus Sash set. This is all based around like a Fear, Endeavor strategy, or Destiny Bomb. In this case, it's got Trail Blaze, so max attack and max speed, and it's going to be fading to a Brick Break. I can't imagine Kyogre using Brick Break with its hands. Like, I don't know. But anyway, we got that Brick Break Kyogre, and then they took a fat L with the Destiny Bomb. So a quality start to the battle there. The ability on that first one was Stakeout. So we had max attack and max speed, Endeavor, Destiny Bomb, Taunt, and Trailblaze. Now we've got a Lunala Dawn Wings, and I've got my Mabosstiff. So I'm facing some pretty stiff competition, if you know what I mean. So we got this next Mabosstiff. It's actually a mix set, and we've got on this Comeuppance, Hyper Voice, Crunch, and Swagger. Now, my opponent seems to have a Rock Blast set, and that is going to do absolutely donkeys. They also chose to bring only 4 Pokemon too, which is pretty cool. And I got the Swagger off, right? I've got the Mirror Herb as the item, so I'm going to be able to copy those attack boosts that I gave the Lunala, which is really, really cool. Now, the signature move, or I guess say one of the signature move of Mabosstiff is Comeuppance. Basically, it's kind of like Metal Burst, dark version of Metal Burst. So if you get hit by attack, you return 1.5 damage. So counter Miracle, all those sort of moves. However, it doesn't have a negative priority, so it can be difficult to use if you've got any speed EVs. Anyway, I managed to dispatch of the Dorwings there. The next Pokemon is going to be Dialga, and I can't even see its head. Cannot even see its head at all. So it's got that origin form. We're going to hit it with a Crunch. Good damage there. Here comes a Aura Sphere, and that's going to be the end of the Mabosstiff. Now, that one was max special attack and max speed, mild nature. Terra Normal as the Terra 2. Next Pokemon is the second Maschiff. This one's actually pretty similar in its moveset. However, it's got Retaliate instead of the Taunt. This is also, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, this line also has Runaway ability too. So I gave it Runaway ability as something funny. I really think the Runaway ability should get some sort of buff or something like that. I don't know, in more of a competitive, thought process. So if you had the Runaway ability, how would you implement that into a battle, right? Like, how would you, like an online battle, what would you do to buff the Runaway ability? Something to do with swapping? I don't know. Let me know. I want to hear your thoughts on that. So we've got this max attack and max speed set. We got that Endeavor. We got that Destiny Bond. This was very, very good for burying like sweat Pokemon. That was super, super competitive. A lot of the time though, I found even with max speed, I wasn't really outspeeding a lot, right? So sometimes I just had to go for a Destiny Bond straight off the bat or go for Endeavor. But in that case, I managed to outspeed the Dialga, which is really cool. So that's going to end that. We got one more Pokemon left here. I've got my Mabosstiff left. This is the best set on my team easily. And they've got a Urshifu. So this has got Jawlock, Play Rough, Terra Fairy, Fire Fang, and Hone Claws. It's got the item as Adrenaline Orb, and the ability is Guard Dog. So basically, if you're lucky enough to get an Intimidate Pokemon coming there, you get a speed boost from the Adrenaline Orb, and then Guard Dog will get an attack boost from the Intimidate too. So it sort of gives it a +1 in attack and speed, which is really cool. Hypnite special set. Anyway, so we got a Terra fighting Urshifu. I was like, yep, this is perfect. This is a really, really good matchup for me. I actually managed to outspeed that, which is pretty cool, and I do some mega damage taking out Urshifu in one shot. that crit absolutely did not matter at all. I mean, even if they went first there with a fighting type move, they were going to get one-shotted anyway. So that is a fat GG. This is a jolly Mabosstiff, by the way. Max attack and max speed. So we got a nice a W for our first battle here. If you enjoy the theme teams, if you enjoy the videos, if you enjoy the content, and you want to support the channel, hit that like button right this second and leave me a comment below. It can be about this video, it can be about anything. I always like to read my comments in the morning. How's your day going? What's the weather like? What's been happening? What do you think of Mabosstiff as a Pokemon? It's a very forgettable Pokemon, but I think it's. I mean, there's probably, I want to say this about Scarlet and Violet, right? There's a lot of really good Pokemon, and then there's this section of Pokemon that's just terrible that no one ever uses. There's such a big divide between those two. It really, especially in Scarlet and Violet, right? And you got stuff like Wugtrio as well. And I mean, Wugtrio, obviously Mabosstiff, in my opinion, is not as bad as Wugtrio, but you know what I mean. So our next battle here, we've got a Samurai Hisuian. They're going to be going for their signature move, putting spikes onto the field. So this isn't going to work so well for my second Maschiff because it's going to have its focus sash broken. But I managed to get around the first one. This is a battle against Joy Boy as well. This is a random battle on the Pokeball. So if you ever see this battle, Joy Boy, please leave a comment. I would like to hear if I do battle people in my videos. So next Pokemon is Empoleon. Now, Empoleon could be a threat here. Now, they also brought 4 Pokemon too, which is really cool. When I do these online battles, I don't expect them to bring 4 Pokemon. It's more like a good sportsmanship, courtesy kind of thing. If their random opponent wants to be on an even playing ground or something like that, you know, it's how it is, right? I take it in the fact that they're probably going to bring 6 anyway. That's what mostly happens. So we've got a Trailblaze up, and I was like, they're probably sort of onto my strategy now. They've seen the first one and they swap. Which was fine. Then they brought in the Metagross, and I'm thinking, yeah, they probably got Bullet Punch on this. I went for Decibon, so I was like, all right, they may not go for Bullet Punch. They may go for a setup move and then attack me afterwards. I thought this would be a great time to go for Endeavor. So I outsped them, put Metagross on 1 health, which is excellent, and then I fainted to the Rocky Helmet. So like, that's not a bad performance there. Metagross is very bulky, especially for this team. Then they use Iron Defense. I'm so lucky and glad that I went for Endeavor there. So it was a good play by yours truly there. We're going to bring in the Mabosstiff. I didn't go for Intimidate anyway. I knew it would have Clear Body. I've got Comeuppance, Hyper Voice, and Crunch. I did actually think about on this set here having Throat Spray, but I decided against it. Now I want to show you something really, really funny, right? So that's the end of Metagross. Now, the next Pokemon to come on back in there, this is going to be the Empoleon. Now, this is pretty funny, right? So, I've got Crunch and I've got Swagger. Now, I was thinking about doing Swagger, and I was like, I'll go for Crunch. Let's get some damage here. I need to get some damage. So, I got some alright damage there, and then the Empoleon went for a Flash Cannon. And that did a lot of damage, right? So I was like, oh, that sucks. But I know that I can get a Crunch off here and maybe take it out. It was pretty close. The Empoleon gets a defense drop. Competitive kicks in, and then my Mirror Herb activated, giving me a special attack, a sharp special attack, right? But unfortunately, the Empoleon fainted me this turn with a Air Slash. That would have been so funny if they missed Air Slash. Then I would have benefited from like a +2 in special attack. But pretty funny there. That's going to be the end of Mabosstiff. My last Pokemon. Oh, it's another Mabosstiff. That's like a purple. What would you call that? Purple? Yeah, I'd call that a purple shiny. It's very brown though. It's like a brown purple shiny. Anyway, I swapped in the Mabosstiff and I took out the Empoleon with a Jaw Lock. I tried to do like some different moves on each set, as I always do too. Now this was interesting too. So Electivire is their last Pokemon. I've got Terra Fairy in case they've got a fighting move or something like that. I wouldn't like to get hit by that at all. Or I was doubting I had anything like a bug or a fairy type move. So I went for that Terra Fairy. I was like, well, Play Rough's going to be good here. Plus Play Rough can also drop attack. So that might be a good idea to go for. They didn't Terra. I was like, oh, interesting. So great damage to the Electivire. It's a 2-hit KO regardless of a crit. They went for Supercell Slam and did about 3/4. And I'm thinking to myself, I wonder why they didn't Terra Forward. Then they went for a Terra, and it was Terra Electric. So I think maybe they accidentally didn't go for a Terra that turn, but I still don't. I still don't think that Mabosstiff would have fainted to that. It would have, I'm not saying it wouldn't have been close, but I think it would have been really, really close, but it still wouldn't have fainted the Mabosstiff. Plus, I outsped them as well. So, still a really good battle there. Thank you, Joy Boy, for the battle. If you ever see this, I'm assuming you were meant to go for Terror Electric there and just, accidentally press your move, because I've done that myself too. Next battle here, this was another random battle. No idea what my opponent's name is. I always appreciate anyone that translates the trainers' names too that are non-English. Always appreciate that. Thank you so much to those that do it. I'm slowly trying to learn, but it's a long process, right? So we got this good drag going for a couple of Dragon Pulses here. Now, I don't know why I didn't go for Destiny Bond there. I don't know why I didn't go for Destiny Bond. I was thinking, for some reason, I was thinking they were going to do something else, and then I was like, I'll go for Trailblaze and then try and outspeed, right? But it didn't work out. It was a disaster. So I swapped in my Mabosstiff. I got a Mirror Herd Swagger, so +2 on attack, and I was hoping that Goodra would have set itself for confusion, you know? And it managed to get a Dragon Pulse up, but it didn't really do, it did a reasonable amount of damage to me, but I definitely think it's mostly invested in Volt. Definitely not a special attack. So that's the end of Goodra. Next Pokemon was Scarlet. I crunched that and dropped it in one shot, which is really, really nice. So I guess it's a powerful crunch, right? Next Pokemon is going to be Cerulege. So I was like, oh, this is also another good Pokemon that tweaked the crunch too. So, that's the end of Cerulege. So things are going pretty nice at the moment. And the next Pokemon to come in, it was Armoroid. I'm like, oh, damn, this is really good. We're getting like multiple crunch, like super effective crunches back to like 3 in a row. So we're getting like a little mini sweep here. Then they brought in Greninja. I'm like, what are they going to do? Terra Ghost? And then they went for a Water Shuriken. And I'm like, why did they not do that earlier? Did they think I'm guessing they thought that outspeed, and that's why. I guess they probably never seen a Mabosstiff used in a battle before, let's be real. So I've got my second Mabosstiff here. Greninja's going to go for a Gunk Shot this time. I'm glad I didn't go for Terror at all. So Play Rough does not feint them. Now they're going to go for Aerial Ace. Interesting. And I went for a Disrespect Fire Fang there to feint the Greninja. So that's the end of Greninja. We've got one more Pokeball left on their team, and that is going to be Garchomp. So I thought, well, this is a good opportunity. I can go for Terra Fairy, and if they go for a Dragon-type move, I won't take any damage at all. I'm pretty sure they'll either go for a Dragon move or they'll go for Earthquake. So Dragon Claw or Earthquake. I actually outsped. I went for the Play Rough here. It's funny how many Pokemon this actually got dispelled. And the Garchomp lived and went for Dragon Rush. And obviously me being a Fairy type is not going to be affected by that. And I finish off Garchomp with a Disrespect Fire Fang. So we still got one more. My apologies. So that's 5 Pokemon. Oh, no, they only brought 5. They only brought 5 Pokemon. Ah, that's why. They only brought 5. Wait, they brought 6. Anyway, sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I got to go back to school and learn how to count to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, next battle here. This had a really, really funny camera angle. Hopefully you guys get to see it. So we've got a Rayquaza lead here. It was level 91. This is a no restrictions battle, by the way. I had a couple of no restrictions battles, by the way. What that means is, if you are curious, if you don't know what that means, when you pick single battle rules, you'll pick something like no restrictions. What no restrictions means, it actually uses your Pokemon at the level that they currently are in your party, right? So say if you got a level 1, you'll be using a level 1 Pokemon. If you get a level 100, you'll be using a level 100. Stuff like that. If you do a normal rules battle, it auto-elevates your team to level 50 just for that battle. So that's the two differences. I've had a few people ask about that over the last couple of months. That's how things work for the online battles. So that's the end of Rayquaza, and Scarlet is going to come in and it's going to hopefully feint me. That's what I was going for with the Destiny Bond. Then they used Fire Fang. It was a physical set. So that's going to be the end of Maschiff, and it's also going to be the end of Scarlet. It's funny how well these Maschiff sets did. Like, these Maschiff sets were really good. I could almost easily guarantee a Pokemon KO with each one of them. Sometimes I got 2 because I would get like an Endeavor off, or I'd swap. I'd go for like an Endeavor on 1 HP, and then they'd like try and set something up, and then I'd feint them, you know. So sometimes I get 2. Anyway, so in comes an Articuno. It went for a Blizzard or something, or Hurricane, and that missed, which is really cool. Then they swapped it out And then they went into Garchomp. So Garchomp is going to be taking a Retaliate here, and that actually did alright damage. Not too bad damage. This is a level 69 Garchomp too. I had to laugh at that one. So I went for Trailblaze again, and I got a lucky critical hit. It's probably the only time I'm going to outspeed Garchomp. Now Garchomp, level 69 is going to unload a Outrage, and that does a lot of damage too. So I've got Trailblaze here. I've got Retaliate. I can actually make use of this Destiny Bond as well. So I went for Retaliate, and that is going to be the end of the Garchomp, which is fine. You know what I think about Maschiff and Mabosstiff too? I don't know if you guys think this, but I always feel like this is I know it's a mono dark Pokemon, but I always feel like it's a normal Pokemon too, normal and dark, kind of like Obstagoon, you know? It really does feel like that. You wouldn't read about this, right? So I went for a Destiny Bond on the Moltres, and Moltres had like a Sky Attack set, so I couldn't get my Destiny Bond off, and then it fainted me. So like, come on. I was a bit unlucky there. They didn't have a Power Herb, so I got as much damage off with the Endeavor as I possibly could. So we're going to go to Mabosstiff now, get that Intimidate, which is obviously going to change everything, and I'm going to scream at Moltres. And that's going to be enough to feint it, which is good. So that's 4 Pokemon down. Now we got the Articuno that was only on a little bit of health anyway. And I went Swagger on this. I thought this might be a good opportunity to get an attack boost. And hopefully maybe Articuno will hit itself with Confusion and give me a sympathy boost there, right, without taking any damage. Most of the time, I'll be honest, most of the time it came back to bite me in the backside, but sometimes there were a few rare times where this actually happened. The Pokemon would faint itself, and then I basically get a free boost and a feint, which is awesome. So that's going to be the end of the Articuno there. We've got one more Pokemon left, and that's Solgaloo. It's floating. It is floating up high. There's a little invisible box underneath it. It's, I don't know, there must be, no, there's a Mr. Mime has got Reflect and Light Screen and, you know, formed into a box, you know, right underneath it. So we got a Terra Psychic, obviously an amazing Terra in front of a, you know, Mono Dark team. And that's going to be the end of the Solgaleo. And that's the end of the battle there. We only lost 2 Maschiff there. That was an interesting battle. So thank you to my random opponent for the battle. Now they'll know what a Maschiff is all about. I'm going to take a drink here, having a sip of my G Pill. Use code SALT, get that 20% off. I'm having some Kamehameha, firing off some lasers and spirit bombs and all that sort of thing. That was nice and fresh, you know, nice fresh taste. So we got another battle here. Not sure my opponent's name. We got a Talonflame lead. Now Talonflame's going to go for U-turn, and we got Iron Valiant coming. So I have the Comeuppance here, and it does alright damage. It didn't really do a lot of damage to Mabosstiff. Like, if it did, you know, 3/4 of my health, that would have been bye-bye there. But it's only 1.5 times, so you're going to need to take at least probably 3/4 to feint a Pokemon. And it also depends on how much health the Pokemon has got as well. So that's going to drop me with a Moonblast. This is a big threat. So I thought, I've got my Maschiff here. Can I outspeed with Trailblaze, or do I just go for Endeavor? Because what I do sometimes with both my Maschiff, I think about it, I'll be like, all right, I don't know if I outspeed here. This could be any situation with a fast Pokemon. I'd go for Endeavor instead, right? And I'd Endeavor that Pokemon, and then I'd feint, then I'd swap in my next one. They'd take me down to my Sash again, and then I'd go Trailblaze on that, and then I could Destiny Bond the next Pokemon. So the second Maschiff, would get 2 KOs. So it would make up the 2 sort of KOs if someone was using a team of 4. That's usually how I went for it. In this case, I actually managed to outspeed, which is really cool. And Moonblast is going to take out Maschiff, and it's also going to take out the Iron Valiant as well at the same time, which is cool. I actually had a good amount of battles where people only bought 4 Pokemon as well. It was really, really good. Except a couple of battles, I had to laugh. You get these people, right, when you battle, they'll have a team of 6 Pokemon, right? They'll have a couple of Pokemon that don't have a type advantage against you, but then they'll have, like, say, they'll have, like, 3 fighting type Pokemon. And then they'll bring their team along with 4 Pokemon, but they'll bring all 3 fighting types, for example. Or they'll bring a type that has, like, all the advantages. It's so funny. They bring the 4 Pokemon, but they bring the counters. It's like, why do that? Just bring something that's gonna, actually provide a challenge. But that's how it is sometimes, people. So we got this Titan. This Titan was a throbbing level 48. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to see if I can get a couple of Trailblazers up here. This could be a good idea to get some speed up, right? The only thing I was a little bit worried is the Titan may actually paralyze me and stuff like that. So then I don't know why they wanted to conserve their Titan for. I've got no idea, because unless it's like a troll set. And then they went into Temu Volcarona, right? So I thought about this Pokemon. It's a very, very good counter to my team. And I need to get rid of it ASAP, right? So I've got 3 Trailblazers up, so that's heaps, right? Heaps to outspeed that. No boost of energy we're seeing, so I'm going to go for the Destiny Bond here and hopefully take this Pokemon with me. A lot of the time I was hoping too that I could take really powerful Pokemon with me that counter my team too, so at least then the remaining Mabosstiff would have a chance, just a fighting chance of, trying to give the opponent a good game, because it was a very difficult team being weak to fighting and fairy, and especially those 2 types, right? So we got the Talonflame coming back in here. We're going to now go into Mabosstiff. This is my last Pokemon, and I've still got 4 more till I actually faint here. Now I've got Jawlock, I've got Terra Fairy. I thought, you're probably just going to use U-turn again. Now, I could go for Hone Claws. I could do that. Or if I don't, if I predict wrong, they may use a fire move. So I was thinking, I may have to actually faint this Pokemon now, or, at least go for some form of damage. So we've got that Terra Fairy, and we're going to go for Jawlock here, outspeeding it and doing good damage there. I'm happy with that. It's funny because Jawlock actually stops the opponent from running away, which is rather interesting. But they use U-turn and stuff like that too. I've just thought of it. I've actually just thought of a great use for the ability Runaway if it ever got buffed. I reckon the ability Runaway should stop Pokemon getting trapped in. Arena Trap, right? I reckon a Pokemon with Runaway ability should be able to run away from an Arena Trap and should be able to be not affected at all by things like Mean Look and Block, trapping moves like Whirlpool. That would be such a great buff to that, to a worthless ability virtually. What do you guys reckon? I think that's a really cool idea. It's not overpowered either, because it's situational. Not everyone's going to have a trapping ability like Shadow Tag or Arena Trap. I think that's really good. Anyway, so I'm sweeping through these Pokemon. I got rid of the Slowbro, got rid of the Dragapult. In comes the Talonflame again. I know that I can outspeed this too, which is really cool. So their last Pokemon left is going to be the level 48 Titan, the absolute unit. And I don't know what was going through their head, why they wanted to conserve this to last. Maybe it was their favorite shiny Pokemon or something like that. I don't know. So we're going to go for a Disrespect Fire Fang. Hopefully it's got thick fat, just for that added salt. And that is going to be the end of the battle. That was battle number 5 too. I've got 7 battles today. It's a little bit of a shorter video because I found each battle went for about, let's say, 3 minutes, because usually Maschiff died in like 3 minutes, or sorry, probably less than that, probably 2 minutes, and then Mabosstiff would probably be the last minute or two. They just wouldn't last too long. So we got another battle here. This one is against Leeton, and this is a really cool team. I don't think I've ever done this team myself. It is a Skrelpy evolution team. I really like this Pokemon. When it was introduced in X and Y, I still remember, X and Y when they introduced all the Pokemon. They were good. Generation 6 and 7. They were good times. I really miss those times in Pokemon. I truly do. I don't know if any of my viewers out there remember watching my videos or being around the area, that era of time. But it was a good time. It makes me very. It doesn't make me sad, but it makes me miss it a lot, because they were good times. Anyway, so we got the Dragalge coming in here, and we got that Intimidate, which is obviously going to change everything. And this, that's a good shiny too. So it looks like Seaweed. No, I've never done this evolution team before. I've done a lot of evolution teams. I've done lots of them. As you guys know, my goal is to do them all eventually, which I'm actually kind of close to doing them. I reckon about 2 or 3 more years, and I probably would have done them all. It also depends if they get released in the games and such too. But I always hyper focus the teams that had at least 3 evolution lines, and then sometimes I'll do a couple of ones that are only 2 and things like that too. Basically, I've got like two evolution line ones left, kinda. This is one of the last ones, one of the last few for Gen 9 too. I think there's like a handful of other ones left, like maybe 2 or 3 left, and I've done all of them. So this Dragu is getting a little bit unlucky here with the confusion, I must say. And we got this Hyper Voice and Crunch set to go, so a mix set, and then it left the Hyper Voice. I was like, okay. I sort of underestimated his bulk a little bit there, and they managed to get a Sludge Bomb off. That was, I want to say that was an adaptability Sludge Bomb, because that did a lot of damage. Like, this Pokemon does hit pretty hard. So it actually brings me back to a moveset I used to run on this Pokemon. I don't know if any of you can remember this, but I used to run a Draugr, right? And it was a Camouflage set, if you can remember the move Camouflage. Really, really cool move. I used to do this Facade set with Draugr under Camouflage, so I turn it into a normal type and do Facade. It was a really good set with, I think I did it with Toxic Orb or something like that. It was really cool. I just remember all those old sets for a lot of the moves. They you know, a lot of moves they removed from the game, and I think, man, I'll never be able to use those sets again, but maybe they'll bring them back. Anyway, that is the end of this Scarlet there. I don't mind Scarlet Shine. It looks pretty cool. I've still got, man, I've only lost one Maschiff here, so Mabosstiff was really shaking this team up, I must say. I've got 3 health left here with this one. Then they actually got a Quick Claw, so that was some, I guess that was some much needed luck there, because I guess they didn't want to take any damage from this in this Mabosstiff, especially being the last Pokemon. So they're going to have Terra Dark, which I can understand having those poison type Pokemon. With a lot of psychic ones around there too, would be very, very bad. So here comes the Terra Blast Dark, and that is the end of Mabosstiff. So I've seen a couple of funny nicknames for Mabosstiff as well. I've seen ones like Cemetery Pet. And probably my favourite one was Arvin Failed. That was probably the one I laughed at the most. But there's been quite a few savage nicknames for this Pokemon. So now we're going to bring in a Maschiff here. And Maschiff, I believe I can get a KO here with either Destiny Bond, or I can put her on a low amount of health with Endeavor. I even actually have Retaliate, so I thought, let's go for Retaliate. I want to see how much this does. So we got that Retaliate, we got that Terra Normal. Pretty good damage there. Drago, he's got some nice bolt. It's going to go for Poison Tail. Hits me with a Skinny Ekans, and that's a 2-hit KO. So I've got Retaliate, I've got Destiny Bond here, just in case, as some insurance, in case I got some bad luck there, and it's going to go for Terra Blast here. So I've got Normal, so that's going to be enough to take me out, and it's going to feint the Maschiff, and it's also going to feint the Draugr as well. So pretty close battle there in the end. I got a very, very good start on that battle. Like, I had most of that team down with only losing 1 Pokemon. It could be difficult when you're only using 4 Pokemon, because the battle can go very, very fast, and then suddenly you're stuck with 1 Pokemon left, and like, man, I don't know what to do and stuff like that. If you like, is this anyone's favorite Pokemon that's watching this video now? Maschiff or Mabosstiff? Is anyone out there their all-time favorite Pokemon? Surely someone like that doesn't exist. I'd be surprised. I've never seen someone say, oh, Mabosstiff is my favorite Pokemon of all time. Is someone out there like that? Put it below in the comment section. I'm going to give you a heart. All right, next battle here. This could be the last battle. Yeah, this is the last battle of today's video. This one is against Father Brian. This battle was straight savage, right? So this might be some kind of theme team. Bryson, man. I think it's some kind of thing team. Anyway, I went for a taunt here, and they went for a torment. So only I'll pin on Shadow there, right? So now they're going to go for a Brick Break. Brick Break is going to be pretty scary against my team here. I'm going to go for Trailblaze. So Trailblaze is going to help increase my speed. Now what I can do is either go for Destiny Bond or go for Endeavor. I was thinking about using Destiny Bond, because in case they had Sucker Punch, that would get around that. And then I might be able to play some Mind Games or use Endeavor and stuff, as well. So I've got that Destiny Bond, and Brick Break is going to take Maschiff out. It's also going to take Ponard at the same time. Or as a nickname on my Nuzlocke for Ponard was Toilet Junior. King Toilet, Toilet Junior. But what would Bishop be though? So we got Toilet Junior, Bishop. Yeah, I don't know. We have to think up a good toilet one for that. That'd be like. No, I'm not actually sure. Anyway, so we've got the Heracross coming in. With the Heracross, did you know too, I'm not sure if you noticed this, but with Heracross's, if you notice on its horn, it's got a love heart. So with the love heart on the horn means it's the female one, which is pretty cool. I reckon they should do like more things like that, make like little like nice differences like that. So the other one's just like spiky ones instead of a love heart. Okay, I've got swag here. I thought, well, this could be good, this could be bad, and I miss with swag. That's the thing about swagger. It's a very, very, I don't know. It's a risky move because for starters, you could potentially make the opponent give them an attack boost, right, and never get hit by confusion. I don't know what that's about at all. That would never ever happen to me. But you know, that's the risk using moves like swagger. So we got the purple Mabosstiff coming in here. We've got Play Rough, we got Hone Claws, we got Terra Fairy. Things are pretty good here, but I don't want to get swept by a Heracross, right? So it's very, very bad. We'd like to use Mega Heracross again. That'd be fun to use. Interesting too. I want to say this. I've been saying this in my last couple of videos. Yes, I will be doing the Pokemon Presents live stream. I'll be reacting to that one live coming up on the end of this month here, a couple of days actually. I'll be definitely reacting to that. It should be lots of fun. I hope to see you there. We can react to it together, and I'll give you all my thoughts and stuff on there. So obviously we're getting ZA news and the usual stuff like Pokemon Remix, Cafe, Unite, and a couple of Masters, and apparently there's some kind of Dragonite thing in there too, like animation or something like that. But I don't know. I've got this sneaking feeling that there might be a hidden game in there that they haven't actually, told us about. I reckon there's another hidden game they haven't told us about. We'll see. It'd be interesting. It could even be a hidden remake, but we'll see what happens anyway. So in comes the Magnezone, and now Invaders Big Monster. This is some kind of video game, right? This is not Space Invaders, is it? I don't know. I think it's some kind of video game too. Anyway, so we've got the Iron Thorns coming in there. I did as best damage that I possibly could. It's a Hyper Beam set. That's pretty cool, and that is going to be the end of Mabosstiff. I've got one more Mabosstiff left. Now, this was actually pretty mean, right? You watch what happens here. So I'm swapping in my Mabosstiff. As you guys know, this is my Destiny Bond set with Trailblaze and stuff. I thought, well, I can get some good Trailblazers going here. This is going to be good. So I got one off there, and I got a speed boost. Now, this is on recharge, so that's going to allow me to get 2 more of them off if it doesn't faint. I was hoping that maybe I could get a crit and take it out before I took any more damage at all, and that unfortunately, never happened. So I got +2 at speed anyway. It's not the end of the world. So another Hyper Beam from Iron Thorns. I got that Focus Sash. So now I can easily take this out, and I can also easily outspeed any of the remaining Pokemon on their team as well. So we got that Trailblaze. That is rather good. So bye-bye Iron Thorns. I guess Iron Thorns is another Pokemon that hardly anyone uses either. It's just never ever used. Next Pokemon is Haunter. I'm like, all right, well, there's 2 Pokemon left. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to try and get rid of 1 more. That's the best I can do. So this was cruel, right? I went for Destiny Bond, and I was like, okay, bye-bye Haunter, sweet dreams. Then it used Destiny Bond as well. I'm like, oh no. So I'm like, well, I can't use Destiny Bond again. what can I do? I can't use Endeavor. I can't use Retaliate. I'm cooked. So I got to go for a second. I really have to go for a second Destiny Bond here and hope that it works, which it never does, and that's gonna fail. But to add the icing and salt on the cake, Haunter is gonna go for a Willow Mist that doesn't miss, and that is gonna burn me. So a disrespect burn KO on the very, very last turn of the battle. I totally wouldn't do that to anyone myself. Yeah, that is the end of the Maschiff Evolution team. It was a pretty fun team to do, actually. Difficult. Took me a lot of battles to get some content, but fun to do at the same time. Hope you enjoyed it. Drop a like and a comment if you did, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.